How about you?
I'm doing great too.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, were you taking e-learning last semester?
Yes.
Because I can see that name is so familiar. Now you've joined the day.
Yes.
There's no problem. Yote ni masomo. Yeah. So we are many. Don't worry about the numbers. Some of them I've called them. They have issues with their phones. So I hope they will be back in the course of maybe the next lesson. So we can do some introduction to social marketing and transformation. Did you view the course outline I shared?
What's course outline?
Yes. Had you viewed it?
No.
Okay, so let me share it by the screen so that we may go through it very fast. Then, if possible, I'll do introduction to the first topic. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me share the course outline first. I hope is it visible on your side? It's sharing.
Yes, it's
Can you view
visible.
that?
Yes.
Okay. So, the unit is social marketing and transformation. So the first topic that we'll be going through is the introduction to social marketing and transformation. Here we shall be giving the definition of terms. What is social transformation? What is the rationale in this? The subtopic, the course outline as let me interfere. Let me interfere for a while. Let me. Oh, sorry for the interference. So I was talking about the social marketing and transformation. We shall begin with the social marketing first, and then we shall let me get back to the present slide. Sorry for that. Just a minute. Yes, so we shall begin with the transforming first, then the last topics we shall do marketing. So before we market something first, we transform. So with our element here, you need to know that the marketing and the transformation that I'm discussing is not the one in business, business marketing products. No, it's more of social. You want to make sure other communities know what you produce in our society. So we shall begin with transforming the first few topics, then the last topics we shall deal with marketing. Are we there?
Yes.
So the first one, as I said, it's the definition of transformation. Clearly, I have not mentioned marketing because, as I've said, the two are in separate pages. So first, I'll be discussing the transformation, and then from there, we shall deal with cultural changes. Remember, if you want to transform or change the way people are doing things in the society, to some extent, culture will be affected because most of the things that we do in the community are cultural oriented. So, to some extent, you need to capture the element of culture, try to analyze the beliefs, the norms, and the values of people and see if possible you can transform them, because permanently you cannot change culture. People are so much impressed to their culture. So it's all about the changing and the transformation. And then from there, we shall proceed to the agents of social transformation. We know there are so many agents that can help us in community development. So the same agents, they can help us in transforming the society. We know of the family, we know of the religious institutions, we know about the schools, we know about the mass media, all these are agents of social transformation. So we shall be discussing them and how are they helping us to transform the society. And then from there, now we shall shift to what I mentioned, social marketing. So the first three topics I've dealt with transforming. Now it's all about marketing. So this marketing, it's not money oriented. Remember that it's more social. You want to know what other communities are doing. Can we exchange our ideas? Can they help our community and all that? So we shall be discussing now the marketing in terms of social, not business wise. From there, I will discuss the process of social marketing. Again, marketing is a process. It's not a one-day activity. It entails activities day in, day out. So we shall be discussing the process of social marketing. What are the factors that influence us in marketing, and then the techniques that you're going to apply when you're marketing our products to other regions. Then from there, we'll deal with a very interesting topic, that is the mass media and social marketing. How is media helping us to market what we have? I know through the media, maybe radio or television, you've seen some communities market their brand. We are able to know this community does this through the mass media. Is it true, Meshach?
Sure.
Yeah, you've seen some communities, market their products just through the media. People cannot know because of the regions. Maybe it's somebody marketing the product from Isiolo, and someone in far end, the western, they can view that and then they're able to know, oh, kumbe in Isiolo there is this and this. So meaning mass media is really helping us to market what we are doing in the society. You've heard about the oil in Turkana. If it wasn't for the mass media, could we have known about the oil? No, you see, so the mass media is really helping us, to know what people are doing in their societies and what can we, help them. The element you need to know here is that even though it's social marketing, it doesn't mean that we cannot, do some money-oriented thing. It's only that the members should not be more on money. But if you're exchanging things like selling of baskets, you can do on a fair ground, because it's not more of money, but it's more of, exchanging the products. But at the end of the day, the members need to get something at the end of the day. So we shall discuss the role of mass media and social marketing. What are the forms of media, the entry and the penetration in the social marketing, the challenges that people face in terms of social media and social marketing, and then the marketing tangible products and the behavior change. And then from there, we shall do the emerging trends. If I have more notes, I will share, because sometimes, when you're doing your revision, you may get extra notes. So I'll also be sharing them through the platform, and then we shall be discussing them through the big blue button. I know for the e-learning, you are not used to the big blue button, but I hope it's okay with you, Meshach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is it on the course outline. Do you
No,
have
that
any
makes
question? Yeah, yes.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask if you have a question, yes.
Yeah, does it mean that e-learning students are not able to will not access the sessions, the big blue button?
Mm.
Because I have not yet. I'm not a regular class student.
So you're already working, huh?
Yeah.
So it's already it's a bit tricky for you. Did you forward it to any person, the registrar, the HOD?
No,
Um,
just
okay.
got that everyone is access to that big blue button.
Uh, okay, we shall see what we can do to accommodate the e-learning, huh? Because there are so many options. Option one, this class is now recorded. Meaning maybe for the evening people, you can't, in the evening you can access the recorded big blue button, because I'll be discussing what I've already displayed in the platform. So meaning when you have your free time, you go through the big blue button in the evening, you listen to my class, then you check the notes that are in the portal. So if there's any query now you can ask, then the lecturer the lecturer can have a time and then I respond. I don't know whether that is favorable, but it's not the final. We're still working. If anything is announced, we will you guys let you know. What was your opinion?
That's good. That's a good opinion.
That's a good one, eh? Yeah, because most of the evening students, some of them were arguing over different forum like on weekends. But you see, if you have like 10 groups and they all want weekends, will you accommodate all of them different units? That's a bit tricky for the lecture.
Yeah.
So for now, the classes I'll be having the big blue button, they are all recorded. So meaning you are able to listen to them. But in case the university gives us another way to accommodate the evening students, well and good. I believe some days you'll be on your day off. So if you have a class that day, please join. Remember that now there is no that flexibility you had last semester of logging in when you want. Now we are using the timetable. I know you're aware of that. Yeah.
Yes.
So if your day off today and Friday, yes.
Even e-learning students just
Sorry.
access according to the timetable.
Sorry.
I'm asking.
Yes.
Even e-learning students.
Yes,
They
the
follow that.
timetable. Yeah. They follow the timetable. But now, the challenge was the e-learning students. Most of them are working during the day, and the timetable was set for day classes.
Yeah.
So if we are still discussing on how to accommodate the e-learning. But as per now, if you're free on a Friday and you know Friday there's social marketing, kindly just join, as you'll be also listening to the recorded classes. As we see, if they give us another forum, well and good. Is that okay?
Right.
Yeah, so check your flexibility, then check the timetable, the units, and see, what you can accommodate.
Okay.
Yeah, so yes, sorry for that, but in case of anything, we will communicate. So at the moment, are you at work?
Oh, of course, I had some plans. I
Oh,
had some work,
okay.
and I saw that there are some classes I have at the same
Mm.
time, so you don't understand.
Oh, so we'll see. Have you registered all the units for the semester 4?
I haven't, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a scholarship student, so I was waiting for them to clear my school fees so that I can
Oh,
be able
okay.
to.
All right.
Yeah.
So can we do brief of our introduction then?
Yes.
Okay. So let me share the topic 1. So don't worry about the background. Teaching from home, it's not that easy. So can you, I think it's sharing. Yeah, it's sharing. So can you view it now?
Yes, you can see.
Okay, let me scroll it so that we begin from the first. Yes, definition of a social transformation. So social transformation is a process in which an individual alters the socially ascribed social status of the parents into a socially achieved status for themselves. The two key terminologies here are socially ascribed status and socially achieved status. Socially ascribed status, it's what you get to know through your parents or the people you're living with. It's not something you get into the environment. It's something inborn. You got it from the people that are with you. But achieved is what you yourself you get from your own efforts. Meaning, socially ascribed, it's not about the age. Now that when you're young, you cannot know what to take as your career, but when you're old, you can check. No, socially ascribed doesn't check the age, the gender. No. But socially achieved, The more you grow up now, you become mature, you know your career, you want to enroll to this course, that is achieved because you are achieving it yourself. You're not considering now your parents. So it is more of there is the element of independence in achieved, but in ascribed, you know, you're following what other people are doing because you found them in that society. Remember, I've mentioned about the institutions, and family is the first institution. So meaning you brought up in a family. So what you find the family members are doing, that is ascribed, and you follow that because you know, like the beliefs. You were born in a place and you found that when people wake up and they find other people are having a meal, you first need to greet them. You know, that is something ascribed. You found it happening with your parents, with your great grandparents, and you're following it up to now. But achieved, the moment you grow up and you realize that you want to do something now to yourself, maybe you want to do a career, you want to do a business, that is something you're making your own decision. So meaning it is socially achieved status. Can you now have you understood the two distinctions?
Yeah.
Yeah, like for
So,
instance, yes,
so ascribe is what you were born into, but achieved is what you gain.
what to gain. Yeah, very good. So with that element, like maybe for career, maybe your parents were all doctors, but you were doing engineering. Let's give us an example. Is that achieved or ascribed? The engineering bit now you are taking. So for you doing engineering, it's achieved. You thought, you know, you're good. It's good if you do engineering. It's good if you do social science. But if maybe your parents tell you medicine is the course, you're just following what they are doing. So you've not made your own decision. So ascribed, it's more you follow what you know the other people are doing. You know, it's more vain born, but achieved you get it through yourself. You know, your own decisions, your own struggle. You know, your own decisions. You don't involve other people. So from there, we can just give that the paragraph talking about the different from social. This is different, I mean, sorry, from social reproduction and social mobility, because instead of looking at the intergenerational mobility or the measure of changes in social status, which occur from the parents to the children generation, social transformation focuses on how an individual can alter the class culture to which they feel aligned. One socially transforms in three steps: by associational embracement, associational distancing, and the distinct presentation of self. So that's what we are saying. This is very different from social reproduction, because with now reproduction, we go to generation. But here we're talking about career. You know, I'm not career, but achieving your status. So you can achieve your status through the associational embracement, the distancing, you know, and the distinct presentation of self. You know, you become yourself. You know yourself better than another person. So social transformation is considered as interpersonal negotiation. The key term there is the interpersonal, meaning you're talking to yourself. You know, you're trying to work on your career yourself. You're trying to work on your plans, your life yourself. So because it requires that the individual have their social position be validated by others for transformation. It is a reciprocal relationship in which people have to be embraced and correctly identified with the cultural expectations of their particular class membership. This is the only way that persons can move from their own ascribed status to the new achieved status. So just to ask something there in relation to achievement, does it attract conflict, Meshach? When
Come
someone
again?
tries to achieve something, does achieving something that you want, does it attract conflict from the society or from the family?
It attracts conflict.
Why do you think it attracts conflict?
It attracts conflict because people are now fighting for achievement.
Yeah, people are fighting for achievement. That is very true, because you know, maybe to you, maybe your parent wasn't for social science, but you wanted social science. You see, so to some extent, family may be like, this person doesn't want us, doesn't do what we want them to do, or even the society. You've seen people maybe on dreadlocks. Is it as in, is it accepted by all communities? By the way, the dreadlocks.
No.
Even religious institutions, do they all accept?
No.
So you see, I'm not saying they're bad. No. That is a personal move. It's an achievement. It's somebody just felt, that is the style. Dressing code has been an issue. There are people who go to the rural settings and people are against them because of how they've won. So the element of transformation, it's not that easy. It's a process, yeah, but it's not that, because you are doing things some which are not favoring other people. And remember, you're talking about achievement, and it is a self-presentation. It's you yourself to say what you want. So regardless of the context and all that, we need to reduce the element of conflict and go to what we call culture flexibility, giving a room for change, culture transformation, giving that room for dynamism. It's good for us to have little change, because then things are changing. Technology is on our way now. You can see now people are all online. So if we stick to our normal day classes, we couldn't have accommodated the students because we stuck on the culture and the norm of online physical classes. But now you see, we need to embrace changes as they come. So now we need to change our organizational culture from physical classes to e-learning classes because of the change in things. So with transformation, we need to have that culture, dynamism, flexibility, giving that room for change. Any question on the introduction bit?
I'm okay.
Yes? Oh, you're okay. Okay, let me see the next slide. So that may be these are all the definitions. Yeah, so I can go to the last bullet points there, so that maybe we can see more. Social transformation affects all types of societies in both developed and less developed regions. In the context of globalization of economic and cultural relations, trends towards regionalization, and the emergence of various forms of global governance. Maybe before I proceed, there is some key distinction between developed countries and or regions and less developed regions. Do you have any difference, between a developed country and a less developed country or region?
Yeah.
What is one of the difference?
Developed country,
Yes,
the technology has advanced.
it's advanced, yeah, very good. But for the less developed, they are just trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is one of the key indicators of developed and developing countries or less developed. Another one is health sector. Another one is security. Another one is infrastructure. All these they're the key indicators that show the distinction between a developed region or country and the less or the developing country. So Kenya, where are we? Developed or developing?
Developing countries.
Developing. Hatujafikia bado, we are still working on some of the things.
Yeah.
But corruption has been really derailing most of the countries, most of the regions, because the funds maybe that could be taken to the healthcare sector and improve our hospitals, most of the funds are going to the embezzlement, and people are really enjoying the coins. But we hope as time goes by, we shall be now on a developed center as a nation. So when you are transforming a society, you need to consider such things: developed regions and the less developed regions. Why? Remember, the way a developed region can work quick on responding to transformation, it's not the same way a developing region can. Because one is getting the challenge of finance or financial stability. So the developed region will transform very fast, but the less developed or the developing region may take a longer period of time because of the element of finance, human resource, economic, and even social. So we need to analyze that as we do the transformation. How is the region which we are transforming? The other point there is globalization is leading to new forms of social differentiation at the international and national levels. Polarization between rich and poor and social exclusion are problems affecting most countries, as well as the relations between them. So the element of people, they all want to be in a global world. They all want to be in an urban world. Modernity has come in. Nobody wants to talk about rural settings. People want to talk about modern, urbanization. So when we talk about now modernity and globalization, this is where now the poor people are being affected because most of them are left in the rural settings. So when you're doing transformation, we should not only consider transforming the urban settings, but also we should consider transforming the rural settings. If it's modernity, the element of technology, the element of security, we need to improve these even in the rural settings. The poor also need to access these resources. Remember the element of equal human rights. We all have rights to access hospitals, to access good facilities, education. So when talking about modernization, globalization, we need to make sure when we are transforming the society, we cater for both, the rich, the middle level, and the poor. And the other issue is the issue can no longer be defined in terms of development, since it is no longer possible to draw clear lines between developed and underdeveloped areas, or to put forward a universally accepted goal for process of change. It's not that easy to know between a developed and undeveloped areas, especially in the rural settings. Now, like in the county areas, if you can ask the county administrators, it's not easy for them to tell you this family is doing well or this family is not doing well. The indicators are very, 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 very thin. So you need to be very cautious and try to identify the developed areas and the underdeveloped areas. The study of social transformation refers to the different ways in which globalizing forces impact upon local communities and national societies with highly diverse highly diverse historical experiences, economic and social patterns, political institutions, and cultures. So again, you see when you're doing transformation, we have those key indicators or determinants for us to check: historical, economic, social patterns, and even the political arena of that community. We can't just transform a place without even checking their structures in terms of political areas. It's good we know their structure well so that we don't interfere with anything. Because if we attract anything that will bring maybe conflict and wrangles in the community, transformation may not occur. Transformation needs a smooth running, people to accept that change, because it's a change, and change people cannot just accept it very easily. Then the other point there is any analysis of social transformation therefore requires analysis of both macro social forces of local traditions, experience, and identities. There is a distinction between macro and the micro. Macro, it's large, but micro, it's kind of small or little. So when you're doing transformation, you need to know the distinction between the macro social settings and the micro social settings, that you may know which area demands more transformation than the other. And the last one there is the response to social transformation may not entail adaptation to globalization, but rather resistance. These may involve mobilization of traditional cultural and social resources, but can also take the new forms of globalization from below through transnational civil society organizations. Yeah, you can see the last statement on sentence one is resistance. Not everyone will accept change. So you really need to talk to people, do what we call the diffusion. Have you done process of diffusion, the unit in 3 or 4?
Yeah,
Yes.
process innovation and innovation.
Yes, very good. Diffuse communicating to a community, it's not that easy. You need to diffuse information to few members, then they help you to diffuse it to other members. I know you've done that theory in that unit. So it's not an easy task for you to inform 5 change agents, and the 5 change agents to diffuse this information to all the members of the community. There are those who will accept. Remember the laggards in that diagram of the process. We talked about the laggards. Yeah, there's people who are always on the negative. They never accept change. So when you're talking about social transformation, you can have the element of division in you as a change agent. How can I inform 5 members, and how will they inform 50 members? Some will get rejections. Of the late majority. Late majority, they are almost the same with laggards. They never accept change. They are always looking about the early majority and the adapters. How are they progressing? Did they succeed or not? You know, there are those people, the fence sitters. They're always on the far end to see things not work. Then to them, it's a joy. So when you're doing transformation, remember that there are those people who will accept, those who will resist. So you need to be very cautious and very ready for anything to happen. Don't be too much, you know, optimistic that things gonna work well for you and all that. No, not every time that things gonna work well. So you need to be very, very cautious about the element of other members of the society. So those are the key bullets, words in terms of social transformation. So the final thing you're going to do, it's now read those two distinctions. Can you be able to see that subtopic, ascribed status and achieved status?
Yeah.
Can you read that paragraph 1, please?
Tribe status is the social status a person is given when he or she is born into. Not so clear.
Oh, let me be clear then. So ascribed status is the social status a person is given when he or she is born into a status from birth and assumes the class role later in life. People born into families with wealth, for example, are considered to have ascribed social status from birth. They've given the example of in the US, you know, when someone is born in a rich family, they all believe they will always be rich because they are born in the status of people who are rich. Achieved status is acquired based on the merit, the skills, abilities, and action. Examples of achieved status include being a doctor or even being a criminal. Then the status determines the set of behavior and expectation from the individual. So if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a social scientist, you want to be an engineer, you know, it's all about your merit, your skills, your abilities, and your action. It's not now inborn, as we talked about ascribed, you know. It's now more about your personal move. So achieved is what you yourself you get from your own decisions and initiatives, but ascribed is more of inborn or what you get from the society or the family or the people that you're living with. So that is the key distinction of between the two. And so that is the introduction bit on social marketing. Unless you have any question, Meshach, let me check if there's someone else who has just left it. Yeah. So any question, Meshach?
Yeah, I have one question.
Yes.
Yeah, what is in macro? There's something you said in point 5.
Macro social macro social setting, or was it what? Let me, because I've already ended the sharing. Let me see if I can access the macro. Let me check. Oh, macro social forces.
Yeah.
So your question is?
The meaning of macro social forces.
Oh, macro social. As I said, oh yes. So macro, it's from a larger perspective, you know. Micro, it's from a smaller perspective. If we do this in terms of geographical locality of a community, if we have a community with 5 million members and we have a community of 20 members, the 5 million, it's more of a macro setting. The 20 people, it's a micro setting. Are we there? I want first you to get the concept of macro and micro. So the 5 million members, they are on a macro setting. It's a large, big city. For the people in a 20 people, that's a micro. It's a tiny city. Now, bring the same mentality to social marketing. We have macro social forces and micro social forces. Macro social forces, this tells you there's more of energy from people, there's more of energy from economy, there's more of energy from finance, there's more energy on environment, there's more energy on security, there's more energy on infrastructure, because people are capable of running the programs. But on a micro social force, they are getting the challenge maybe of insufficient funds, insecurity issues, environmentally they are being affected with of floods and all that. You know, they are not in a very sustainable society. So when you're doing transformation, you need to check the forces. Is it macro or is it is it micro? So for macro, it's quite large, it's quite extensive task. But for micro, it's limited, meaning even the people you are dealing with are also fewer. There are not many as in the macro. So when you're talking about social transformation, you need to take the indicator of this, the macro social forces that you may get and the micro social forces. You can imagine you doing marketing and you are getting more negativity from the macro, and the people are many. That's a very big challenge to a change agent, because they may not get the support from they may not get the support from the members because most of them are against. But if it's a micro setting and it's only two people are against you, micro meaning they're very, very few. For you as a change agent, you can convince them like the laggards. So with macro social force, it's quite extent, but for micro, it's just little. It's just a small group of forces. Now, do you get it, Meshak?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, another question?
I'm good.
You good? So we shall be proceeding from there. Then the next, I hope those who have found their phones who are having issues, they'll be well, so that I can finish up on the distancing, associational embracement, and then if possible, we shall do topic 2, which is cultural changes that we know about, transforming the culture and the flexibility of the culture, because it's important we also talk about the culture. So unless there's any question, I encourage you please to go through the notes, that at least you see and compare as we see how next week the class will be. The next class will also be on Friday, unless change the timetable. It's supposed to be on Friday, 8 to 11.
Right.
Okay, so you can have a good day. Do you have another class today?
Yes.
Okay, so you can have a good day as you venture to other classes, and all the best and welcome to this new semester. I know for you now it's a new move, but as you're talking about transformation, also you can get a transformation there from e-learning to big blue button.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to give room for change. So that we're talking about transformation. So if you can accommodate the big blue button, well and good, it will help all of us. So in case of any question, kindly I've displayed my contacts. So you can just do a WhatsApp, an inbox, a phone call, a text. I will get back.
All right.
Yeah, don't feel stuck on anything, and we are here to help.
Okay. Have a nice day.
So, okay, you too. Thank you.